The following is a hockey podcast out of Vancouver and Surrey, British Columbia. It'll only consist of a lot of puck talk and even more BS, or in actual words, banter and satire. Enjoy, and as always, go Canucks go.
Kyle, what a weekend for Vancouver sports!
You're Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, welcome to the postcast here on Locked On Canucks. My name is Trevor Beggs. That guy is Kyle Bhawan. And like I said at the top, it was a magical weekend for Vancouver sports. So it's kind of ironic that despite all the good vibes going on throughout the city, the Goldeneyes, the Whitecaps, the Vancouver Canucks just put forth their most disturbing performance of the season. But Kyle, man, maybe it's the positive vibes of Vancouver, but I'm believing this Canucks team can do something. You know why? Because they just lost to the Calgary Flames tonight. They have 20 points. They are 30th overall in the NHL. The two teams below them, the Calgary Flames and the Nashville Predators, have both beaten the Canucks this season. Kyle, the Canucks can still do this. They can pull off the tank, baby. Magic can happen with the Goldeneyes, with the Whitecaps, and with the Vancouver Canucks. It's all going to happen, baby.
Whoa, you went 360 with it. It's the holidays, but where's Freddie? Unbelievable, man. I like it. They are doing the unthinkable, and that's like trying not to suck and being really good at sucking. And it's a lot, Trevor. It's a lot. I mean, we could, like, how do you want to do this? Is this referendum episode? Is this like big philosophy type of spiel about our favorite sports team and how depressing this is? Like, I was actually watching the game at a music event in the city, like just like an open mic event, and talking to some people about the Canucks, and the best comment was, yo, I'm not even a Canucks fan, but anytime I learn about the Canucks, I get depressed because, there's people that love the city out here, and they just want what's better for Vancouver. And, the misdirection coming from the top coinciding with the reality on the ice, it's A, disturbing, B, annoying. But all this team has to do is announce that they suck, announce that it's a rebuild, announce that it's restarting, and this market will actually ease up and enjoy hockey once again, because this is not enjoying. And Trevor, again, until they get their messaging straight, we're all allowed to be really pissed off. And, we could go to sleep with the results because we're closer to tanking and getting a top 5 lottery pick. But again, that frustration is there because of the miscommunication. But until then, again, we're allowed to be so pissed off. And until then, I'm going to be mad every single time this team loses on home ice and plays like shit on home ice. Or, sorry, part of my language, my bad. They didn't play that bad today, but they got quote unquote goalied, you could say. But the fact that this team still only has maybe 3 home wins this year, if I'm correct. And isn't it like 11 or 14 home wins in the last like 1,000 games on home ice? Like, you know what I'm trying to say? And they increased tickets. Like, I love my neighbors. I want my people leaving the rink happy. There's a lot of kids that go to these games, right? And the Canucks are embarrassing, and B, nobody's buying Canucks jerseys this Christmas. Oh, you want a Quinn Hughes jersey? He might be gone. We're not spending this money in this economy on something that may not quote unquote matter for a child, right? So this is just a bad time to be a Canucks fan. And tonight, sorry for the spiel, Trevor. Just let me get this off my chest. But A, the season is put up in flames, and B, wasn't that poetic justice? When our best player of the whole game was Quinn Hughes. He was making things happen.
He was electric tonight. He was so good.
He was electric. And nobody could finish everything that he was doing. And the score goes 5-1 on a shorthanded goal by Blake Coleman. And the very next shift, Quinn Hughes goes coast to coast. Like, was that not poetic? Was that not, this is the end of Vancouver. This is the end. And it's not the last bit of Quinn Hughes, but it literally felt like that when he went coast to coast. And it's like, you know what? I'm ready to move on, but I'm still going to miss this a lot.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that was poetic justice. And, you look at the very end of the game, the cameras caught him just kind of sitting on the bench, staring out into space as his teammates are heading to the dressing room. I mean, look, I think that's why it was a disturbing night on so many levels. Yeah. And it was just Quinn Hughes sitting on the bench, just watching the world go by, man.
No way, bro. Keep talking. I'm gonna go see that film, bro.
But I think to me, it was one of the most disturbing elements of this game. And again, Quinn Hughes was electric tonight, but it was a team of individuals out there. And Kyle, like you said, they didn't play that bad, but they're also playing the Calgary Flames. And I know the Calgary Flames, they're not going to have, 40 points this year. Like this is still a team that had 96 points last season. Like they got some guys that'll compete, but this is not a good hockey team. And the Canucks to me tonight just looked like a bunch of individuals out there, right? Like there are guys on this team with skill, but none of them are playing together. And, I got Vancouver sports on the mind. And one thing that Matthias Laborda of the Whitecaps said after the game last night was, we are a family in here. Like we all play with heart. We all play for each other. And you can kind of see that with a team like the Whitecaps.
Yeah.
You don't see that with the Vancouver Canucks. Like I see Connor Garland making plays there tonight, but kind of trying to do it on his own. I see Brock Besser not reading off of his teammates, just passing to the other team. Obviously, the shorthanded goal is the bad one, but it wasn't the only time he did it in this game. Quinn Hughes, I mean, like he's trying to do everything out there right now, but he's trying to do on his own because he doesn't trust his teammates. And Kyle, this league is too damn hard. It's too damn close to play like you're a bunch of individuals. This is like hockey to me is the second greatest team sport in the world, behind probably only football. You have to play as a team. The Canucks aren't playing as a team right now.
Yeah, they're just a bunch. I was gonna say they're a bunch of losers. I'm a loser too. Okay, like nobody's perfect. They're also a team that's just not coached well. Like this team is.
Yes.
This team is poorly coached. And correct me if I'm wrong. Another goal in the penalty kill again. Like against our penalty kill, like, was it the third goal, Sharon Dovich or something? No.
I thought they were 0 for 4 on the power play. I'm not even sure they allowed a shot on the power play. They allowed no shots through power play. That was the one thing they were patting the stats on tonight. But you're against the Calgary Flames power play. That's 14% overall, one of the worst teams in the league.
Okay, believe me when I said this. Again, I was at this music event, but I was watching the whole game on my phone, but no headphones. But at the end of the day, we did take a couple penalties, and end of the day, some of the goals that the Calgary scored today looked very similar to the goals we allow in the penalty kill. Just net front, like we don't know who to check, miscommunication, we're not reading, we're not playing physical enough. You know what I'm saying? Open season, Kevin Lankinen, we might as well, bro, it's 4-0 every game, every time Kevin Lankinen starts. Like, this guy cannot allow less than 4 goals. Oh, say what you want. This is his fault. This isn't his fault. Look at the goals above expected average when you divide it by 16. Like he actually played pretty good today with his high danger percentages against the competition, whatever all that means. Like, dude, stop the puck. Enough's enough. He's been so inconsistent. He's had maybe 3 or 4 good starts this season, maybe 5. I'm sorry. End of the day, like again, nobody's pulling their weight. Nobody's, how do I say this? Because people are pulling their weight, but there's never more than like 10 guys doing it at the same time. There isn't. And it's because, again, this team's just not good enough. And, we can talk about the roster, but it's interesting how once again, we're seeing that core not be able to get its ish together. And you could say it's depressing right now and it's not a team. Well, why isn't it? Why can't Elias Pettersson or Quinn Hughes rally the troops? Why can't Brock Besser rally the troops? Like, but at the end of the day, I just think it's impossible because proof is in the pudding, man. Proof is in the pudding, bro. This team has been bad for a decade plus. This core has been bad for 7 or 8 years plus outside of a bubble season in what happened in 23-24. And we're seeing it again this year. And it's sad, but I'm telling you, Trevor, Canucks fans, let me know if I'm wrong on this. I know it sucks because Quinn Hughes is worth 8 first-round picks, and you could tank and you probably won't get a better player than Quinn Hughes. Canucks fans, FYI, that's the truth. That is the truth. It really is. But if they announce the rebuild, are you telling me you're not going to still watch Canucks games? You are. You are. You're gonna like watch it for different reasons. Like, how's Tom Willander playing, or how's this looking, or how's DPD looking? You're going to just turn into a scout and enjoy hockey and not worry about the wins and losses. But we can't even do that yet, even though we cheer for a historically bad team, because this team writes letters saying we're not rebuilding. They sound like the Calgary Flames. They sound like the Buffalo Sabres. And Nancy could say, I'm so depressing, but the Canucks are a poorly run organization. And I've watched a ton of sports. I've watched a ton of SportsCenter. Grew up on SportsCenter in South Park. For real, since 2002, I'm telling you, they are Cleveland Brown level. They are New York Jets level. They are. They just are. That's the truth. They're almost Las Vegas Raiders level. That is just the truth. The Canucks are like the Buffalo Sabres. They're cousins. They're a bad hockey team. They're a bad NHL organization. And we deserve better. And at the very least, give us the truth, give us direction, give us a plan. And I'm telling you, we will buy into the rebuild. We will.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a hockey craze market, and of course, there's casual fans but to be honest, Kyle, I think the casual fans that won't tune into a rebuild are not tuning in right now, anyways, right? Like the fans who are still watching this team, the fans who are still listening to Locked On Canucks, consuming hockey content, they would appreciate direction in this case, and that's probably something I want to get to later this week on Locked On Canucks. Is what does dismantling this team actually look like? Because you can talk about it all day long. The Canucks, again, there's no indication that they're going to go in that direction yet, even if they should. But what does that actually look like? So that's something we're going to tackle this week on Locked On Canucks. But on the other side, I do want to get into report cards because, again, there's some individual performances to me that stood out. I want to talk about some of the younger players too. Like, we're going to be scouting these younger guys. And look, I think the last thing I'll say on the rebuild too, you look at teams like San Jose and Chicago, right? And I know they got lots of young talent now. I don't even think the Canucks have to sink down to their depths to do the rebuild. You look at both of those teams and they were aging cores. And listen, hear me out. Like, they were aging cores that had no prospects and no talent. I think the Vancouver Canucks, if they're truly rebuilding this team, they're probably keeping Pettersson whether you like it or not. Right? Like, maybe he's your second line guy moving forward. You're probably keeping him. I think Willander really can be a top 4 stud for this team. I think Braden Coots could be something for this team. Like, there are pieces in place. There are younger players that they built up through Abbotsford that I think can be role players on this team. Like, there are players in this organization. It's a long ways to go. Don't get me wrong, but it's not stripping down the studs even to the Chicago and San Jose level. And look, that was a few years, and now they're two of the most fun teams in the league right now. So I think the Canucks, if they go down that path, you never know when you draft talent. I don't foresee this being a Buffalo Sabres bet. I think they're the anomaly when it comes to rebuilding. Most teams who take the pain and get top 3 picks in the draft, they go on to have success, at least in terms of being fun and exciting to watch and making some noise.
Yeah, and then it's ironic because you bring the Buffalo Sabres up and they're like Rasmus Dahlin and Owen Power. Those guys were top 1 picks, and look at where they're at. They even have Bowen Byram on the team who's like a top 4 pick, right? Like, you still never know, but just to argue with like, oh, this may not be a long rebuild because you said, oh, Elias Pettersson could be your second line center moving forward. Braden Coots is good. Tom Willander's a top 4 guy. Like, in that spiel, you didn't mention one top end guy. Like, if Elias Pettersson's a second line center, then which I don't think's the case. I think like the silver lining is like you probably are keeping Elias Pettersson. You have a number 1 center who's still like 27. Obviously, again, we have to do all the math, but at the end of the day, the Canucks need a lot of talent, especially if they're moving off of Quinn Hughes, who's essentially 2 superstars in one. Like, I feel like the Canucks are 3 to 4 players away, or maybe 3 max from being close to a contender. Like, or just like they're just not close. The Canucks are not close. They're not close. It's the truth. The Demko's have they're not close.
We'll see if they get closer. We're talking about the 3rd worst team in the NHL right now, Kyle. I believe in miracles. All right, let's pick it up on the other side. We're going to cut to break here, and we'll be back on Locked On Canucks. All right, before we get back to it, let's shout out our friends over at Gametime. And Kyle, before we do this, I actually wanted to bring it up in the first segment, and I'll bring it up now, but I'm hitting the round of applause for the Vancouver Canucks. Kyle, you're talking about them raising ticket prices. This week, the Vancouver Canucks actually quietly dropped ticket prices for some of their games. And I know it was the Goldeneyes home opener, and it was the Whitecaps playing the biggest game in their MLS franchise history. Canucks tickets were actually cheaper to get in the door than either of those 2 events. So they have quietly dropped tickets of late. But whether it's the Canucks, whether it's something else, go check out whatever you want to get, whatever you want to watch on Gametime, baby. They are the place to go to buy tickets. Oh, Kyle, I can't wait to get back as a fan, man. I mean, going as media, it's great, man. Those are some special nights I was at this week with the Goldeneyes and the Whitecaps. But I miss being a beer drinking fan sometimes. So we got to get those tickets on Gametime. You got to do the same thing. Take the guess. We're going to buying tickets with Gametime. Go down the Gametime app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. That's code LOCKEDONNHL for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, and go. All right, baby. You know what time it is. It's time to do the doer, baby, because I'm doing the doer all day long. Once I get past like October, I'm slapping on the jeans. And once I tried on the doer jeans, I'm telling you, man, I'm not going to wear any other pants ever again, because these jeans are stylish and they're comfy. They got 5 times the stretch of traditional denim. Woohoo! And they got that Cool Max energy, baby, that keeps you nice and cool and the right temperature below the belt. No one wants sweaty balls. No one wants a frozen penis, man. No, those are not fun things. And Doer, they help with that, baby. And you can check out Doer here in Vancouver at 1757 West 4th Avenue. Pick them up as a gift or for yourself. Get selfish, baby. You know, we all got to do that once in a while. Mention our promo code Locked On Canucks in store to get 15% off your first order. You can also check them out online at duer.ca/LockedOnCanucks for 15% off. That's duer.ca/LockedOnCanucks.
Let's get back to talking about your Vancouver Canucks. Okay, we're back doing this, talking about your Vancouver Canucks, and we're back doing this on Locked On Canucks, and that's not caring about the people. Why do we take 16 minutes to read the comments when it's the referendum episode? No, we're all going through this. We're all going through this, like it or not. We're cheering for a team that has 2 regulation wins in their last 17 games, that over the last 7 to 8 years is the 4th worst team in hockey, the 5th or 6th worst team in hockey, 7th, I don't know. So let's get together, okay? Trevor, we are all Locked On Canucks. Let's get the comments going right now. Blue Mander saying, let's tank for McKenna. And Scrawford saying, let's be the Charlotte Bobcats. And Carmen saying, be excited, guys. A top 5 pick in a stacked draft could excel the rebuild. And yes, I'm ready to be excited about that. But until they don't announce their plans to strip it down, I'm going to be scared. I'm going to be scared. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be scared that tomorrow we're going to wake up and the Canucks trade their first-round pick lottery protected or something, No, straight up. Or they trade their 2027 first-round pick and this person to help this team out right now, because they told us 2 weeks ago they're not rebuilding, and they have to save their season this week if they want to double down on what they just said. No, Trevor? So again, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared that it's quote unquote too good to be true, and they're not tanking, or they're not aligned with asset management and pooling the most amount of draft picks as possible. And tomorrow we're gonna wake up to a trade.
I mean, honestly, man, I'm skeptical of that happening. I don't see Allvin as Jim Benning reincarnated here. He's made missteps over the past 12 months. Don't get me wrong. But I think even a guy like Allvin and Rutherford too, I know they keep talking about playoffs and not rebuilding, but I don't see these guys as dudes who look at a team that's 30th overall in the NHL and go, "Oh my God, we need to trade a first-round pick to save our jobs here." I think Allvin's done a good job of, for the most part, being future look. I think he's made mistakes. The Kane thing, not trading Besser and Suter last year. Yeah, he effed up on the Miller trade. He's not a guy that I see trading a first and a prospect for a second line center for the 30th overall team in the NHL. Kyle, they made those moves in 23-24 when the team earned it, right? This team hasn't earned shit right now. I don't think they're going to go out and make a panic trade. I do think it's the more Lucas Reichel kind of let's take a low cost dart throw. I don't see Allvin just making a blunderous trade here, but that's maybe I'm being too optimistic. This is Vancouver Canucks hockey after all.
Because what if Aquilini, he's go save the season. We're only 8 points out. The St. Louis Blues did it. They did it in 2019, and they did it last year, right? The Blues sucked last year too, and they made the playoffs. You don't think that organization, there's somebody in there saying with Quinn Hughes, with Demko coming back next week, with Elias Pettersson playing better, if our penalty kill gets a little bit better, look, in the last 2 games, our penalty kills looked pretty good. There's still a chance. All we have to do is win 5 straight games. Dude, there's somebody in there going to be saying that. And again, they just told us they're not rebuilding 2 weeks ago. And, until they give the people direction, we're going to be pessimistic a little about this, even though it's kind of going our way. And it's just, again, volatile time to be a Canucks fan. Anyways, Trevor, I don't know how you're going to do this, but 5 minutes for report cards.
It's going to be the quickest 5 minutes for report cards ever, Kyle. Quinn Hughes gets an A+. Everyone else gets a C-. That was report cards, baby. Yeah,
Okay.
there was a lot of mediocrity tonight, but I will touch on two guys. I do want to touch on DPD and Tom Willander. The problem right now, again, they're both young guys. Two basic rookies, right? I'm kind of considering DPD a rookie. I know he surpassed the threshold last year, whatever. Both of those guys had some mistakes tonight. Now, Tom Willander, much like he did tonight, I think has been the more steady and reliable of the two. But tonight on that third goal of the game, when it went off his skating in, like I know he's battling Joel Farabee in front, but that's the second time. It happened in the Jets game too. That's the second time that Tom Willander has had his back to the play and the puck's gone in because of the guy he's battling, right? I think as he grows in the NHL, he will learn to battle guys but keep an eye on the puck at the same time. Again, I like a lot of Tom Willander's game, but I think that's a rookie mistake that he's going to learn, and I think he does learn quickly. And now DPD, I mean, I found this was an indictment of the Canucks in general. Way too often tonight, they were so passive in the defensive zone. It was like they were killing a penalty when they were 5-on-5 against the goddamn Calgary Flames. And there was a shift where it was DPD and Hroney together. I can't even remember what four line was out there. I think it was the Ratu O'Connor Sherwood line maybe, but everyone was just standing around. Everyone was just standing, letting Calgary pass the puck around the whole time. And I'm like, for God's sake, someone go do something. DPD was that guy who did something. He pinched up, and he shouldn't have pinched for it. He pinched up towards like the defenseman, and then it left two Flames basically alone in front of the net. I mean, that was a bad mistake, but like everything about that shift was frustrating, right? I felt like DPD was compensating for his team just getting, dummied by the Calgary Flames or just throwing the puck around. Don't just do anything about it.
Yeah, well, this team, again, Trevor, like emphasis on this team being poorly coached. They don't know, like we've seen it, dude. Like you can, guys. There's been 23 games of this. We've been the better hockey team in like 5 of these games. It feels like that. It really feels like that. If not 5, 6. If not 6, 7. And then the rest, it's like we actually get smoked. We get smoked. And then like today you could say we didn't get smoked, but when it rains, it pours. Because again, this team doesn't have an identity to rely on or lean on, and they're poorly coached. Like dude, Trevor, look at this. Like it took 23 games for Evander Kane to get demoted, right? And he could turn over the puck a million times and he could be bad in the defensive zone and nothing would happen. No demotion. But I'm gonna demote you because maybe like the ceiling is caving in, but I'm gonna demote you because you took an unnecessary penalty by talking shit to the ref, by showing some passion. That's when I'm gonna demote you. Okay. And how about this coaching? It's like, why in the beginning of the game do you start revolving all your defensive pairings right away? It was a blender right away. And it's strategy, I don't know, like it's the whole coaching staff's fault, but that was confusing. And I'm confused because I'm like, you'll press the blender 10 seconds into the first period with your decor, but you'll wait 23 games to move Evander Kane off the top line. Like what's the process? Like even the coaching staff itself doesn't have like a set of like mental philosophy to lean on. They're just doing whatever the hell they want in game. Like they don't have there's no philosophy. There's no strategy. There's just nothing. There's nothing. It's like every single time the Canucks take the ice, like I'm telling you, I feel like they forget about what they just practiced and they're like, okay, let's hope we could do well tonight. That's what it looks like, game in and game out. And it's a poorly run operation right now. And again, at least Trevor, we're building a bit of a cushion when it comes to us being in the bottom 5. You know what I'm saying? Like there is a little bit of solace in that because it's not the mushy middle. Like we could have 4 more points, but we don't have those 2. We don't have those 2 extra wins, right, Trevor? We actually are like, again, 4 wins in our last 17 regulation. We probably are. Are we tied with Calgary in total wins? Or no? Probably
Calgary has 1 last win, but they have 1 more regulation win.
So there you go. You know what I'm saying? We are actually the worst team in hockey.
Yeah, don't forget about Nashville. They're still down there too. But hey, Nashville, like I said, has already beat Vancouver once this season. Man, oh man, I'm really curious what Foote said tonight. Probably find out after the show. But I do want to talk a bit about coaching as we wrap up here on Locked On Canucks. Before we get back to it, baby, let's shout out our friends over at FanDuel. Kyle, your Green Bay Packers won today. My Seattle Seahawks won today. They're just that much closer to meeting in the playoffs, man.
Trevor,
I'm saving all my podcasting money for Seahawks Packers tickets, man, when they meet in January.
what? Really?
Let's go, man. Yeah, man. Let's
Okay,
do it, man.
that could be fun. That could be fun. Now you got me thinking. Okay, I do want to say though, and again, you're the second best dad in the world, and you know I really haven't been nice to you over the last couple of weeks because the Canucks are dragging me down. Right now, the Seahawks are playing way better offense than the Green Bay Packers. And, you know, your defense is really good too, but I don't know. Sometimes I just look at the Packers D and I'm like, Micah Parsons, man. All in all, though, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm pretty sure the Seattle Seahawks are a way better football team than the Packers right now. Just right now. We have weeks. We have weeks to go until we play each other.
Yeah, unfortunately, you guys don't got Jackson Smith and Najigba, man. Let's go,
Oof.
buddy. Let's go. Whatever you're betting on FanDuel, bet the over on Jackson Smith and Njigba touchdowns, receiving yards. That guy is a freaking beauty. You can do live in-game bets, same-game parlays, all that good stuff. Right now, FanDuel's giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. Head to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game with FanDuel and get the app today.
Okay, we back doing this, and that's talking about your Vancouver Canucks. We're going to read some more comments, but first, let's run it, man. Canucksatology. Okay, this is the part of the show where we give you the stats about the Whales, and DZ the Faded actually commented that it's 2 regulation wins in the last 17 games. I think I just said 4 a couple minutes ago. Just want to, you know.
I think you said 2.
Did I just want to hammer that point in? I don't know. Also, Trevor, I wish I had the stats in front of me. I'll try to get it off my phone. But you're smart at this stuff. Like, I didn't know that the Canucks were actually 5-on-5 for expected goals for. They were last in the league, and
yeah. It's been that way for a little bit. You know, as expected goals for, they've actually creeped up a little bit just for chances created. Like, they're around like the 10th worst team in the league, but in terms of expected goals against, they're literally the worst team in the NHL. Like, no team is allowing more chances. And Kyle, this is what makes me think so much about Adam Foote here in Vancouver and how much coaching can make a difference. And with this management team, their hands kind of tied. Like, they don't want to make a win now trade to save their jobs because they know it's reckless. They don't want to sell the farm because they still have Quinn Hughes. You still have Elias Pettersson, who got 100 points a couple seasons ago. You still have Thatcher Demko, Vesda Kennedy. I don't think that they want to go full sale mode either. I still wonder, I've said it before and I'll say it again, every day is no. I still wonder if they pull the trigger on a coaching change, because that is the easiest thing to try and change. And it's, you know what, it's repeated, it's dumb, it's been done again in this market. But man, oh man, this Adam Foote hockey team that was supposed to be good defensively, like, it's a freaking atrocity out there.
Oh,
The way they defend, how passive they are, how individual they are, it's brutal to watch, man. And it wasn't this way before Adam Foote came here. So he's got to bear a good chunk of this blame here too.
Oh, 100%. The team has taken like 2 steps back since Foote's taken over.
But tell me right now, man, what do you think the odds are, if this continues, that they fire Adam Foote this year?
Okay,
season before the end of the year.
Okay. No. Okay, Trevor, don't even bring that up. If they're not firing him this week, please do not fire him later in the season. No, for real. Because the Canucks,
the Boudreaux bump, the Talkett bump, this management group loves it, man.
Dude, the Canucks were on their way to getting Bedard. Maybe. You never know. Maybe. But they fired Boudreaux and hired Talkett, and they got the coach's bump, right? And it felt good because the next season, it looked like the coach's bump trickled over to the following season. Like, whatever they implemented in like February, March, and April, the players brought that to training camp, and the Canucks succeeded, and it was all fine and dandy. But remember, like, since this management team has taken over and they got the keys to the betting mess, I know it's so easy to say this in like revisionist history terms. I'm just saying it's ironic how if the Canucks do announce, and this regime finally announced like the tank and the rebuild, it's after Bedard, Celebrini, and Schaefer went. It's right after that, and then you're giving up Hughes in the middle of this rebuild. Like in the announcement of this rebuild, you're giving away a player that's probably as good as all those guys. I'm gonna say it. Quinn Hughes is better than Macklin Celebrini. That's what it feels like sometimes watching that guy. And I'm not saying valuable based on age and whatnot, and Celebrini is a hell of a player, but I'm just gonna put Quinn Hughes on a pedestal because he's so good. He's, again, the greatest Canuck of all time to me, and individually speaking, and again, talent-wise, like he's one of the best athletes in America. Just all praise to Quinn Hughes. All in all, though, Trevor, can I ask you this? A bit of a curveball. The Canucks suck this year. They don't trade Quinn Hughes. They get the number 1 pick. They get the number 2 pick, and then July 1st hits, and all of a sudden, the Quinn Hughes and the Canucks announce a 3-year extension. Like that's very much in the cards too. Where it's like,
you know what? That's something that has not been talked about at all, Kyle. That's fascinating that you bring that up.
We'll give up this year. Like Adam Foote can't coach for like he's just like it's not working. Whatever he's saying is not working. And like even now when you hear him talk to the media, it sounds like he's saying 18 different things as once. Like his communication is just it sounds desperate. All in all, though, they could be a really bad team. With being healthy, they're healthy right now outside of Thatcher Demko and Hoglander. Sorry. But they could be bad. They get the first overall pick. Quinn Hughes announces the extension, and then they try again next year.
Yeah, I think we should leave the episode of that, man, because I think that's a nice note to leave on.
No, pick a couple comments. I know you got to go to bed. Pick a couple comments. Reply to them.
I look, the vibe I've gotten from Quinn Hughes, how much he hates to lose, I don't see him sticking around. I don't see him just being like, oh, we got the number 1 pick, even though we were bottom 5 last year. Like, let's do this, man. Screw my brothers. We got Gavin McKenna. Let's go. I'm resigning for 3 years. Get a new coach, even though he loved Adam Foote. I don't see it happening. But I like the idea that I think the fact that you brought it up because no one else has talked about it yet that I've heard.
I have this theory too. This is a good one. I brought this up 12 months ago, 14 months ago. Elias Pettersson is a way better player than Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes continues to get hurt, and the Canucks trade Jack Hughes for Elias Pettersson. That's another one. I know Jack Hughes has an incredible contract, but let's say he's actually injury prone like Thatcher Demko. That guy gets hurt, like, bro, he could like sprain it.
Would you want that to keep Quinn Hughes? Probably.
No. You would have to because Trevor. At the end of the day, it's sad to say.
Yeah,
it's polarizing and it's all over the place. And even my messaging
you're going into a rebuild without Hughes. Like, yeah, you got to do that. You're right.
And I'm just saying, like Quinn Hughes, you're not gonna. There's a really good chance, especially after Celebrini, Bedard, and Schaefer. You're not getting a better player than Quinn Hughes with any of these first round picks you're gonna get. But you might, but chances are small because in essence, Quinn Hughes is kind of like the number 1 overall pick or the number 2 overall pick, right? So if you can keep that, he's still young enough, like he's 25. It's still kind of be like getting one of those guys if you extend him, because he's that damn good. And who knows, like maybe if Manny Malholter's in charge, the Canucks aren't as bad as they are right now. Maybe if they get Pete DeBoer, like coaching's a big thing. And right now, Adam Foote is looking like one of the worst coaches in hockey. Like,
yeah,
his penalty kills.
Systems wise, special team wise, it's a joke. I mean, look, the one coach I've been really impressed by is Dan Muse, and 95% of you listening didn't know who the F that guy was before the Pittsburgh Penguins hired him. I barely knew who he was. And he's been great so far. I think he's got a great system in Pittsburgh. I think they were pretty recently number 1 on the power play and number 1 on the penalty kill. And a lot of that wasn't just kind of like shooting luck and goaltending luck. Like they were legitimately one of the best teams in the league on special teams, if not the best team in the league of special teams. And a lot of that is coaching. And they've been defending not bad as well, considering the roster that they have. So coaching can make a huge difference. And right now it has been a huge difference for the Canucks. The problem is the huge difference is made is that they are the worst defensive team in the NHL.
Ooh, okay, comments. Look at this one. Callum saying, Beggsy, you best hope Adam Foote gets canned this week because you're going to be within punching distance from him. Okay, Trevor.
It's funny. Rob, my boss. Shout out to Rob Williams, Daily Hive. He just messaged me as we were doing this episode. He's like, I should have sent you to the game tonight. Rob, thank you for not sending me to this game tonight. I mean, look, it would have been interesting that if I was there, Kyle, because I told you before hopping on. I was at the Canuck game Thursday. I was at the Goldeneyes Friday. I was at the Whitecaps Saturday. I get up early with kids. I feel like I barely slept in 3 days, man. I'm a little cranky today, man. You know what?
No, you're not.
No. But like just for me, like talking to Adam Foote tonight after this game, I would just like to know if he was at all real about his team having zero effort and playing like individuals, or is he just gonna keep saying, it's a couple of mistakes and we were right there? Like that's probably what he said. I don't know. We'll find out after I'm done this, but. yeah, I'm glad I wasn't at that game tonight, but I just wonder if Adam Foote's going to say anything different in hopes of just kind of changing his own reputation in this market right now. And you're right, I might be getting punched in the face, but I got to do it for the people, man.
No, 100%. And Trevor, don't get punched in the face, please, because we're in the entertainment business, and one of us got to look good.
That's why I got the mustache, a little extra padding, you know.
Trevor, I was thinking about like the communication from like the players or like the management or the coach to the fans about all this, because I'm like, again, I was talking to people at this event, and they're like, "Yo, when are the players gonna say sorry, like to the fans? Like, has anyone came out and just said like, this is not good enough?" Like, and then I started thinking to myself, like, oh, I would like to maybe hear some of that, like that energy, like this actually matters, and so the fans could feel connected to the players, because there's that disconnect. And then I was thinking of maybe Adam Foote delivering that message, but again, Adam Foote's been here for like 3 years as well. Like, I just don't think it's gonna come. Like, this team doesn't have a pulse. They don't have a person to go to. There's no, like, Quinn Hughes likes to do all his leading on the ice. It's obvious, dude, and he's the best at it. It's like, I'll play for 35 minutes. You know, it's Thomas Drance. I'm gonna end on this note. Thomas Drance made a great point. The Canucks are losing games, and it's not their fault, but the Canucks are getting smoked in games when they play Quinn Hughes and Philip Hronek 25 plus minutes a night, and they're dominating their minutes, and the Canucks still get smoked. That's all you have to hear. Ended on that. Like, this is a bad operation. This is one of the worst Canucks teams through 23 games that I've seen in my 23 years watching this team. And they don't even have the drama. They don't have JT Miller. No, it's like it's Buffalo Sabres bad. But end of the day, we're all Canucks, and when they do announce the rebuild, I'm telling you, you and us, it'll be fun to hop on this program and just like have a clear slate or a clear idea of what this team is trying to do, because as hockey nerds, we're gonna find solace in the moral and the moral the fragments of good things from these losses. But until they like communicate that we're still gonna try to be in the middle, because you never know what could happen when they make the playoffs. Like, they literally said that 2 weeks ago. You're gonna get this. You're gonna get this.
Yep. And right now, it doesn't look great. Especially when you lose 5-2 to the Calgary Flames. The Canucks season going up in flames. And Kyle, I got to go to bed, man. So shout out to you for tuning into this episode of Locked On Canucks. We'll keep it coming here, baby, no matter what happens with this hockey team. Again, Kyle, episode, what is dismantling the Canucks look like coming up this week? I really want to go through this exercise and know like what they can recoup. How does it compare to other rebuilding teams? You know, what can they do to turn over this roster, get rid of some of the players who are talented but look like individuals right now? Put them on other teams. That's coming up. Again, I'm Trevor Beggs. That guy's Kyle Bhawan. Like and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube. You've been listening to Locked On Canucks.
Your Locked On Canucks, your daily podcast on the Vancouver Canucks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.